Same thing. I'm going to get you to try and think of the shortcut for multiplying and dividing. It's not going to be 0, because if you multiply by 0 now, you're going to get 0. And then we're going to try and think of the two different functions. Okay. And there's going to be something special about b that we'll talk about. So we need to figure out an f of x and a g of x so that when we multiply these together, you get x squared minus 9. We're going to do two different non-zero or non-constant functions first, and then we're going to look at what would be the easiest thing to write if you had this question. Which one would you like to figure out first? Would you like to give an example? Or just given if you find two things that multiply to give x squared minus 9, tell me what you found, and I'll tell you if you found the super easiest one or the regular one, which isn't necessarily that hard, but not super easy that'll always work. Yeah, that's the super easy one. Make one x squared minus 9, make the other one 1. When you multiply them together, you're going to get x squared minus 9. That's going to always work. And this is probably what they were thinking when they made the question, because you could factor this to x plus 3, x minus 3. So then one of them would be x plus 3 and the other one would be x minus 3. Which isn't that hard, but not as super easy as x squared minus 9 divided by 1. For b, we have two functions now. They're divided. What would the super easy one be? Divide by 1. Good. Now, in fact, the super easy one is going to be the best one, because even if I do something else, let's say even if I would do something like this, x plus 2 times x plus 1, and have x plus 2 on the bottom, can you see that those x plus 2's would cancel out and you would get x plus 1? So technically this is right. However, the problem is this one would have a non-permissible value because x can't equal minus 2, and the original one doesn't have any non-permissible values. So there might be a minus 0.5 deduction for this, because your equation on the left, I'm saying x can't equal 2, and the equation on the right has a domain of everything. So then this is better on this side. How could you get around that if you didn't want to make one where it was divided by 1? I don't know, 5 and 5? Because then the 5's would cancel out when you divide, and you'd still be left with x plus 1. And your domain would still be everything on both sides. But in the dividing case, why complicate things? If you ever get these questions, don't make it complicated. Use 1 for multiplying and dividing. Use zeros for adding and subtracting. Make your life easy. It actually came up, I think on one of your reviews there's a question that says write two functions. I was like, really? Because if they use a shortcut of 0 and 1, they're going to get it all right. So the ones you can try for this, IV, and now I'll hand out your extra review.